All right, welcome back to the One Man, One Giant podcast. How you doing, Eric?
Hey.
We got Eric Lewin here, Ben Fishman, back for another episode. Just coming off another Monday night open mic. Eric was there. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't work on anything. I actually was pitching the class that I'm going to teach April 8th. All the big tools to get your comic game tight and ready and work toward an awesome, strong 5 with a showcase at the end of a 5-week thing. And I hope people get into it and sign up and really get their chops up, right?
I'm really excited about it. You know, that's how I started doing comedy. I took a class, and I loved the class so much, I took another one, and then another one until I started feeling comfortable at open mics, and then they closed the place I was doing my classes at, so now I started my own open mic. But it really, I've learned a lot from Eric. I've only known him for a short amount of time. He's been coming to the open mic for a few months. He's helped me a lot, and the fact that he's offering a class at the Peach, and like right now, the Peach is one of the hottest places to do comedy right now. I mean, we're booking comics. It's a great venue. We're packing the house almost every week. I mean, you were there this week. We had a full room.
Yeah, the comics flock to it. It's a well-run show. I mean, sometimes you have a guest host, which can shake things up a little bit and put a little spice, a little different flavor on it. Sometimes you like it, and sometimes not as much, but it's always a great scene. To me, if I ever want to work out, I love going to that mic.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, wait till you come. So the cool thing is we're going to do the mic. Is obviously it's every Monday at the Peach. It's been like that for a year and a half now, but the classes are going to be Tuesday. So I think the cool thing about that is you could you could break down your set from the night before. You can ask for some advice, be like, hey, last night this was hitting and this wasn't. What can we do to keep it flowing? I mean, Eric's got a ton of great ideas. And the cool thing about the class, it's 5 episodes. It's 5 classes, and then we do a graduation show, and then you're actually going to get a cut of your set. So a lot of places, they'll do that, but then they charge you for the cut or whatever. Everything's included, and to perform at the Peach, it's a thing now. I mean, you like performing there, right?
I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, you were kind enough to headline those 2 shows, and I really enjoyed it. It's a great stage and a nice room. The laughs really pop. Again, just to blow up the class for a minute, if you want to write, this is a great motivator. If you want to kind of push yourself to continue writing more and testing your stuff out more on stage and getting to a place with different techniques and different approaches of creating quality material and finding your voice, what you want to say, and saying it in the most, in a way that's going to really hit the hardest and get the laughs. It's an art. It's a craft. Mm-hmm. I'm still learning. I talk to my own mentors. So to me, we all Michael Jordan needed a coach. You know what I mean?
Tiger Woods still has a swing coach.
Yeah.
One best golfer in the world, and he still has a swing coach. So you can always get better. There's always room for improvement.
It's infinite, honestly, in comedy. That's the fascinating thing about it.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how many angles and how many when you think like, man, I've heard it all. Like it just it just keeps going, and there's just more doors and windows to open, opportunities. I mean, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Comedy helped me, and when I took my classes before I knew I was going to produce shows and things like that, I really just wanted to have better conversations, because I'm in sales, and I was always good in sales, but I can joke around a little better. I can build rapport a little better. The customer and we kind of connect a little better. And it's easier for me in sales to sell someone who I have a better connection with than to just, meet someone and say, okay, here's the product. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because at the end of the day, if I go out on a limb and say comedy, stand-up is really about connection.
Yeah.
You're connecting emotionally with this group of strangers, and you're making them laugh because they relate to you.
And isn't it weird how when you tell people you're a comic, it's almost like telling them you're a doctor or something? Because, like, no, you know what I mean? So many people, it's like, oh my gosh, you're a comic. Oh, I could never do comedy. You know what I mean? And they really, I mean, I wouldn't say they look up to you, but they give you, they give you credit for getting up there because not everyone can get up there and just do jokes.
To have the stones to try. Yeah. You got to be a little nuts to do comedy, I got to say. You got to be a little out there. Like, I'm going to go up and bare my soul and have you laugh at it. It's like a little crazy, but it's also a beautiful thing.
Speaking of crazy, man, last night's mic, oh, man, I had a host. I won't say who he was, but hadn't had him host before. It seemed like he'd done all right before the Peach, but I'm making new rules at the Peach, okay? If you're going to host the show, you got to have a set, and you got to keep the energy going. I had a real low-energy guy. A lot of people left early, and the thing that really pissed me off is my mom was in the crowd. My mom came up from Fort Myers. She hadn't been to my show at all the time I ran it, and it was just they even said to me, they're like, "You were great. The host sucked."
Not the one you wanted to show off to
No.
Yeah.
I'll host that show next time. I'll take care of business next time. But yeah, I would just say if you're asked to host somewhere, guys, this is not just like, oh, okay, I'm hosting. No, man, this is an honor. This is someone looked at you and said, okay, I feel comfortable with them running my room. And, you got to have a solid, 8-10 minute set when you get up there. Have a few jokes in between. Give everyone, a good introduction and make sure, hey, cheer them on, cheer them off. Because that's what keeps the energy going. And it was just like, it was like a dead fish. I mean,
hosting itself is an art.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get talked about enough, like, especially when you're coming up in the business, when you sort of start to emerge out of the open mic and you get into actual paying gigs in clubs, you're going to host. That's what you're going to do. They're going to have you host. It's almost universally the most inexperienced comic on the bill is hosting.
Yeah.
And hosting is super important at the same time, and it's very much an art unto itself, as I said, because like you said, you have to set the tone of the show. Mm-hmm. You have to have an act, and at the same time you have to warm up this crowd and set the table for the feature and the headliner or guest spots and whoever else is on the show. And then in between, keep the energy flowing, keep it going, keep it upbeat. You're a little bit of a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And you have a responsibility. You're working for the show, for the excellence of the show. And that goes for an open mic as well, especially such a well-run one.
Oh, thanks.
So I feel you. It's very important.
I got to tell you about my first time hosting. I did a bunch of classes at the Improv, and my teacher was like, Ramon Garcia at the time. He was like, "Hey, are you ready to host?" And of course, I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm ready to host." You want to
experience
it? Yeah,
course,
let's go. And I get in there, and it was a mess because for whatever reason, he had the list on like a notes app on the phone, and and then he was changing it, right? And now that was his fault. My fault, this is what I did. And it's funny because it actually worked out for me. But I got up there, I did my set, did a solid set. And then I just said, that's my time. And I got off the stage. And then everything was
the building.
And everything was quiet. And everyone looked at him like, what the hell is he doing? And then I ran back on stage. I said, oh shit, I forgot I'm hosting. And I got one of the biggest laughs I've ever got since I was in comedy.
That's hilarious.
Actually worked out. Yeah.
But that's great that you you copped to it.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah.
I'm the schmuck that,
And that was the thing, Ramon. I was like, dude, I screwed up. He was like, dude, that laugh was solid. That was one of your biggest laughs. And then, once I kind of got over the fact that I didn't, that I screwed up or whatever, it really, it changed everything for me that night.
That's great. It makes you real.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then get this. Then I call up the first comic. And again, this thing, he's got it on a text. And I don't know, I'm trying to look through the, my text because he sent it to me on a text. By the way, never do it, guys. Have a list, or at least take a picture of the list, okay, or do something. But have a list, dude. Don't do the text. Yeah, if you're hosting, don't do this text thing.
Maybe knowing who you're calling up.
Oh my God!
Good
so
call.
then I'm like, next up, all right, give it up for your next comedian. And then she's like, aren't you going to say my name? I'm like, I don't know who you are. And she was like, you don't know me? I've done comedy with you. And we're like getting in an argument as she's going on stage.
Oh, my God.
And this was the first comic of the night.
Oh,
man. And it was packed. We had a full room.
A fail.
Oh, dude. So,
and by the way, just to interject, I hope she got over that. Although I wouldn't blame her.
Oh yeah, and she's been to the Peach before and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, and then even Jessica Smith, who's one of my dear friends, she's been in comedy since we started, and she was like, "Yeah, I think you need a little more experience." But it was funny because then I started the Peach.
How did that even happen?
That I got to host?
No, that they let you on stage. Yeah, no. How did was it like? How did the list? How did you not know who was starting the show?
I'm telling you, I was nervous. I was all messed up because I thought I screwed up my set.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I was going through the notes.
You got a little flustered.
Like you've told me before, I had the out of body experience.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I came back, but let me tell you, I mean, I know after that show, I was like, you know what? I'm going to host the shit out of the next show I did. And I didn't get to host another show until I started the Peach.
Right.
But, I love hosting. And, it's just, man, you got to know if you have a big list, you got to keep it flowing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's, and you got to pay attention, guys. If you're hosting, pay attention to the clock. Don't be outside smoking weed, drinking, talking to your friends. Be inside. You're part of the show. You know what I mean? So, you're there to keep it flowing.
If you do
and
that
everything.
at a club, you're getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
End of story.
Not getting paid, right?
Yeah, you just don't even come back in. But it's important to know who you're going to bring up, and to be able to ask the comic, like you got to ask, how do you want me to bring you up?
Oh, yeah.
Magical phrase, and the comic will give you their credits or whatever they want you to say. Don't just make it up. So,
oh man! So we had two incidents.
I know I'm getting it,
guy.
putting the apple cart before the horse or whatever.
So I called him up one time, and I'm like, "How do you want me to call you up?" And he said, "Side Splitters and these other clubs." And I went up there and I did the exact opposite. I was like, all the way from Las Vegas, give it up from Eric Lou. And you're like, I didn't want you to say I was from Las Vegas.
You were like, he's back from helping refugees. I don't know what you, like, what?
I don't know. And then we did the dog show, and Sarah Moore goes, you've seen this guy on Fox News and Comedy Central, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
You were like, no.
I mean, it might as well have said OnlyFans or something. Like, I don't know what, what? It's cool. It didn't matter, but it was all made up.
It throws you off guard,
yeah,
though, right?
I was like, who? Is it, who's going up?
You're like, wait, that's me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got better at that because, I found myself doing the same thing. Like, I'd have 25 comics. And next up, the very funny. Oh, he's very funny. Oh, she's very funny, And it's like, but as I've got to know a lot of these people, I've got to, I'm able to, say better things about them and things like that. But, yeah, it's like if you get up there and you keep saying the same thing over and over, and you got to have a little one-liner in between, I feel like, just to kind of like, break up the monotony.
To have that. Yeah. And you know what? You can take the mic and do a minute. It's okay.
Yeah.
Not always, but and not before the headliner in a show, by the way. But yeah, you can mix, kind of whatever, wake the crowd up a little. Like, let's say someone ate it before. Let's say someone really, and I don't think you can bomb at a mic, by the way, but let's say it was like a dead silent. You can go up there and light up a little fire again in the audience.
So it's so funny you say that. I was in Austin last summer, and I was fortunate enough to get on the Mothership and do the open mic there.
Cool.
And I went up there. I had 3 minutes. I thought I did a great set, and then the host got up there and he was like, "Whose uncle is that?"
Right.
I don't know. Maybe my comedy wasn't hitting the same out there. It's just
no. It's just comics will do anything for a laugh, basically, and sometimes you're the laugh.
Like, here's this big Florida man shows up, like all these Texas comics, and like Austin's a weird place.
I've not been.
It's It's very woke, let's say. Very, it's fun though. There's a ton of comedy clubs. There's a lot of tech companies out there, so there's a lot of new money out there and stuff. But it's a lot of homelessness too, and a lot of mental illness. I mean, just go to an open mic in Austin, you'll see plenty of mental illness, and then just go out on the street and you'll see even more.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's good and bad at the same time, And then I tried out for the Kill Tony, and man, let me tell you, that is not okay. So they have 2 lines, right? You got the line of people that have never signed up. You got to sign a waiver because you're going to be on TV and all this stuff. Then they got the people who have done it. And the people who have already done it, there's like 200 people in line. And then the people who haven't done it, there's another like 200 people in line. So everyone signs up, and they're like, okay, you got to wait around this bar, and about every 15 minutes we're going to call a name. So the first name, they were like, Benjamin, and then it was some other name, and because I had just got on the mothership, and all my friends were like, dude, now Kill Tony, you know what I mean? And I thought I was going up, but nah, they got someone else. But yeah, we waited there all night, and you really got to be lucky to get on to Kill Tony. I mean, it
sounds like Studio 54. Like the doorman's like, take your shirt off, turn around. Like, let me see that ass, like, just to get in. Like, you gotta have this fairy dust.
And it's crazy.
I'm not interested personally, but I get that it's a humongous thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
but, sometimes, but then some comics like us who have been doing comedy for a few years go up there, and then they get people who have no comedy experience, who are just trying to get on a show.
Random.
And then just completely bomb, and they're just like...
And it's just the 1 minute, right?
Yeah, it's a minute, yeah.
Yeah,
That's too short for me. Like, I mean, now, maybe when I started in comedy, I could riddle off, like, 2 or 3 jokes and, like, all right, cool. But now it's like, man, I want to go into a set. Like, you want, like, I don't, like, all right, I'll do some... I know some funny jokes here and there, but, like... You want me to do comedy, man? I want to get into, you're going to give me a mic and a stage and a spotlight. I want to get up there for a few minutes, you know what I mean, and do my thing. Like
a minute, for lack of a better phrase, is sort of just the tip.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's just getting it in. I think, a minute. So Off the Cuff, which was ran by Jackie Sanchez and Warren Scott. And I don't know if they're still doing it because I haven't seen anything ad for it, but they do a minute and a half. But the cool thing is they do games and stuff in between. So they'll be like, all right, minute and a half. All right, and then after like 10 comics, they'll be like, all right, everyone come up here and just do your best one-liner. All right, everyone come up to your best street joke. If I don't know the joke, then you stay in like for the next. So they kind of like do it like as it's almost like a competition. It changes. It's a different format. But again, it's just like a minute and a half. And then it's like, all right, so when you have 5 minutes, right, and then you get the light, you're like, I got a minute. But when you have a minute and a half and you get the light and you got 30 seconds and you're only a minute in, it's tough, man, because I feel like, I got these other jokes I want to hit, but I'm not going to have enough time to get, 30 seconds, it's a lot of time, but it's not. Like on stage, it feels like a lot if you're not doing anything, but when you're trying to like...
Yeah, I mean, how do you really, I don't know. I'm a sort of purist. I love the old school. I love stand-up as stand-up. Just give me a set. Give me 10, 20, 30, 45 minute set. I want to hear your set. I don't understand this. Anyway, I'm not going to be like, old man, grouch, get off my lawn kind of thing. But like,
comedy in my day.
Comedy in my day. But I don't know. I like stand-up.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I thought, and it's funny, when you're living your life, I always think of premises when I'm, so like, I was telling you earlier, I was thinking about cars earlier, and I saw an old school Viper. And
yeah, you're like a car guy.
Yeah, I love cars, yeah. My uncle owned a car dealership. I grew up around cars. And it's funny to me. This is the funny thing about sports cars in South Florida, right? Now, if you're in New York or LA or something, you see some younger guys driving sports cars and stuff. But when you're in Palm Beach, we're in West Palm Beach area, you see the oldest guys driving the fastest cars. And they don't drive them fast. I mean, I saw this guy. He must have been 80-something years old. He's driving an ACR Viper, I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. And he's going 70 on 95. I mean, what are you doing, man? Like, you got like a 500 horsepower under there. Like, let it rip, Act like it. Yeah, man. It's just, it's so weird. And then, but they're not the only slow drivers with fast cars. Okay. In South Florida, the kids, man, they got the Camaros, the Mustangs, but they're on their phone. You know what I mean? So they're revving the engines, they're ripping it, but they're like, and it's like, dude, to me, I'm like, dude, drive that thing. You know what I mean? Like, you spend a lot of money on that car.
That Viper.
Yeah, whatever it is, if you got a little sports car, rip it, man. Like, I just, it's funny that It's just the youngest
I don't
people.
think you could fit in a Viper.
Oh, dude, that was my. All right, so you saw my car last night. I got a big SUV. My uncle was a Lamborghini dealer, right? And
Wow.
yeah, okay, and this is like back in the 90s when the Diablos were going on. So, yeah, Lambos, dude. I went to the car shows. I did all that shit. I didn't get to drive one Lamborghini my entire life. I don't fit in them, even because I was a big kid. I was 6 foot, probably 200 pounds when I was 16. Squeeze me into a Lambo.
You have to kind of lie down in it, I hear,
dude,
right?
It's
so low
it's
and
like
sleek.
a shimmy, dude.
Yeah.
It's a wedge. So, I would get, I would be like, all right, can I sit in it? Be like, all right, you could sit in it. But then I could barely close the door because the door comes down like this. It came down on my knee, dude.
So only little people can drive a Lambo.
And that's the thing. I feel like, okay, little Italian guys had some out for the big guys. Yeah, Lamborghini, Ferrari. I don't fit any of those things,
too.
dude.
Yeah,
all those cars are tiny.
But doesn't it have to be? Does the car have to be tiny to be that? I don't know, aerodynamic.
No, they're Italian, man. They're just smaller people. Yeah, they don't think about big Americans. They're like, it's a car. It's an Italian car. You're gonna love it. It's Italian. But they don't say like.
So is there like an SUV? Is there a bigger car, an SUV that kicks ass?
Dude, all right, well, I love my car. I got a Lincoln Aviator. It's the most expensive car I ever bought myself. I drove a Hyundai Santa Fe for 8 years, and I was like, I'm finally gonna get a nice car and stuff. But like, dude, every brand out there has an SUV. And I know we're going into a car mode right now, but it's like they have an Aston Martin SUV, a Lamborghini SUV.
Really?
Oh my!
So what's the Lamborghini SUV like? What?
It's an Audi with a Lambo badge on it.
Okay.
But no, it's a V10. It's a rocket, man. In like a 7-passenger car. Like, when are you and your kids got to go to soccer that fast? You know what I mean? Like, dude, going to 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds with like 7 people in the car.
So that just fried my brain. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's
soccer moms driving a Lamborghini. I don't get it.
Oh, I see it all the time down here. When you live down here long enough, you'll see the craziest shit. I've seen the youngest people driving expensive cars, classic cars. I've seen it's amazing because we're close to Miami. There's a lot of money in Palm Beach, and it's nothing to see it. Like, I don't know did you ever play video games? Did you ever play Vice City?
A little bit.
It's like Vice City down here. I mean, you just gotta drive around and you'll see something cool. And you'll see something funny though. Like, that's the other thing. Like, the car culture down here, I love cars, right? And one instance I saw a Rolls Royce driven onto the beach, hanging over the seawall because some lady was drunk. Yeah. And then I saw another video. There's a guy who drove his Ferrari off a dock into the Intercoastal.
Awesome.
That's Florida man shit.
Whoa.
That's real Florida man shit.
That's some Evel Knievel, I don't know what.
And then this other guy in a hippie van crashed his car to the seawall, and he was like drove all the way up from Miami, and was just going A1A until he finally just
People
crashed.
probably get shit faced.
Just keep going
like on a Sunday in their fancy sporty car and just floor it. Like, next thing they know,
it's Florida. Florida. So I think season's over because the traffic was a lot easier getting here today because it was crazy. But like, man, when it's season, you can just tell it's packed. Everyone's shit faced. I mean, I was at a restaurant the other day. Everyone's yelling and screaming, kissing and hugging each other. I'm like, you know what I mean? It was just
there is this party kind of in the air.
Yeah, it's like the Peach, but everywhere. Like, if you come to the Peach is always a good time.
And by the way, how many comics don't have any car at all?
Oh, my God. Dude, the one guy who I had host last week did not have a car. Yeah. And I'm going to confess something about this. I got to say something funny about this.
Do it.
It was his birthday. And his birthday is the day before my roommate's birthday.
Okay. My
roommate's a nice Polish woman. And he got drunk. And he left his bottle of wine there. And I said, he did such a shitty job hosting. He got drunk. He messed up my show. I said, I'm going to take that. And then the next day, I gave it to my roommate, and I said, happy birthday.
Wait, was this an open bottle?
No, it was a fresh bottle.
Oh, okay, there
fresh
you go.
bottle of wine.
Repurposed. Yeah.
Re-gifting,
well done.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Don't leave your shit at an open mic. So,
By By the way, that's like I've never seen such a nice thing left behind.
I know, right?
Like,
yeah. I mean, I've come across all kinds of stuff. People leave their tripods, their iPads, their notebooks, and then they call you like 3 days later. Where's my notebook? And it's like, dude, you were so wasted. I was like, hey, don't forget your notebook, and they didn't even look back. But yeah, that's open mics, though. You know, and it's funny. You told me something, you know, because I take my mic seriously and stuff, but like, you know, you were like, hey, mics aren't just for comics to go practice. They're there hanging out, drinking, smoking, trying to get laid. You know, it's a party for some people, you know. It's like, I just hope that if you do go to an open mic, you take it seriously, you show the host respect, you show the audience respect, you show your fellow comedians respect by sitting and at least watching most of the show. I mean, you know, I get some people got to work in the morning
time,
stuff, but
to the guy with the wine, leave behind a really good sack of weed from the dispensary down the street here. Look, man, a lot of comics go for the party, or it's a big part of it. And I'm not judging, like, that's your thing, that's fine. And that's kind of a mic thing. Everywhere there's a mic. I'm way more boring than that. I'm going to work.
Yeah. No, it's funny because this guy, he works, man. He goes to the coffee shop, he's working. He goes anywhere, he's working. He goes at the breakfast diner, he's working, man. He doesn't just go out to go out, he's working.
That's
good. I respect that. You know, some people are like, yeah, I'm going to go to this coffee shop or whatever, and accomplish nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I'm one of those guys.
I like getting better. You know, and it's not, look, I used to party a ton. I've kind of, you know, been there, done that, I guess, in a way. And occasionally I'll stick a little pinky toe in the water, chill out a little bit, you know, but like, I want to always get better. That's my, you know, the motivation.
And that's why you're going to start the class.
That's why I'm doing the class. Doing the class. So if you want to get better, if you want to write more, if you want to write better, clearer, funnier, establish yourself on stage, learn how to perform with confidence, to be able to relax on stage and start to let your natural funny really come out and it's almost like the two wings of the dove, the writing, the performance, have them begin to come together. I don't know, it's corny, but you know, you get it. You see the wings. You see the wings.
It's an effect. Yeah, it's a process, that's for sure.
It's a process.
I remember when I did my first set, I'm like, dude, I'm amazing. I can't even watch that shit now.
I can't believe I used to I was very good friends with the late, great Eric Myers, and I used to middle for him on the road many years ago. And I know a lot of people know Eric, incredible comic, great person, miss him. And, you know, he would joke with me like, yeah, you know, sometimes, like, you know, you can't believe you said all that shit on stage. Like you look back a few months or a few years, you know, whatever it is down the road, and you're like, that was me? Like, I said that out loud?
Yeah.
So that's all part of it. You know, you just get rid of this stuff, you add stuff, you edit stuff. Like, it's a living, breathing process.
And it makes you better. You got to get worse. Or not, you don't got to get worse to get better, but you got to do, like, you got to have messed up moments.
Growth in stand-up, the seeds is public humiliation.
Yeah.
That, because all other artists get to practice in a closet. Yeah, Slash got to practice his guitar without anyone watching. We don't.
With his mom being like, that sounds great, dear. Yeah. One audience member.
Ma, the meatloaf. Like,
meanwhile, we got the random homeless guy from Lake Worth slunking in, you know, like, you guys think you're funny. Yeah, that's how it is, though. You're right. Comedy, I mean, you know, it's not like you have your garage band and, you know, you go perform at your local skate shop or something like that. You know what I mean? It's, it's like...
As you're getting better, all your warts and all are being, you know, you're putting it out. But you got to do it.
You got it. And that's the thing, guys. Start coming out to the Peach. Also, I do Subculture on Wednesdays. That's a fun little mic. That one starts a little early. That one starts at 7:30 because it's got to be done at 10. The Peach goes all night. I mean, that's a big...
All night?
But yeah, guys, come to the Peach, take the class, guys. Go to
class.
Comedy Relapse on Instagram. Go to Eric's Instagram, Erik Lewin Comedy.
At Erik Lewin, ErikLewin Comedy.
That's right, the Jewish way.
Amen.
So yeah, go there, go to the links in the bio, sign up for the class. It's $3.99. It's worth every penny. You're going to get 5 classes with Erik. You're going to get a graduation show, and you're going to get a graduation set recorded and actually edited by your wife.
That's right.
That's
she's a professional editor. But you're going to learn a ton. I promise.
You're going to learn so much.
Promise.
And you're going to enjoy it.
And it's going to be super fun. And the link is in the Comedy Relapse bio,
yes,
correct?
in the bio. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah, Comedy
cool.
Relapse bio. It's in my bio. I think it's in your bio, right?
Not right. I got to put, but go to the Comedy Relapse
I'll get him
bio.
there. I'll get him
sure.
set up.
Yeah. I'm
All
still
right.
in 1988. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do us for us today. Thanks for watching the One Man, One Giant podcast. Until next week,
Peace.
have a great day. Peace.